Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of Greatlocs. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're going to be looking at Jaydayoungan Dreadlocks. I'm glad you guys requested this video because he has some really dope dreads, and by looking at his hair, I'm like, dude, I'm inspired. I want to get dreadlocks. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to go check out my main channel and keep up with my freeform journey because it's been coming a long way, and it's pretty interesting to see how fast my hair is actually locking up. It's only been a little bit over 2 months, and my hair is locking up quick. And I'm just allowing it to freely form. I'm not doing any maintenance towards it. I'm just washing my hair and allowing it to do its thing. But if you guys want to experience it with me, make sure to go subscribe to the main channel and keep up with the updates. Now guys, before we get into Jaydayoungan's hair, make sure to comment down below who you guys want to see next because I'm definitely taking all your recommendations into consideration. So comment down below, and also comment down below what products you use on your dreadlocks. If you don't use any products, just comment down below, hey, I don't use no products. But guys, let's get straight into it with Jaydayoungan's hair type. Now his hair type is a 4B or somewhere in that range. And anytime I'm calling out someone's hair type, you can't really tell exactly what their hair type is inside of a dreadlock, but you can kind of tell based on their new growth, or if you find an old picture of them, or even just looking at their dreadlocks, you can kind of tell what their hair type is based on how much frizz is in there, or if there isn't any frizz. If there's no frizz, it's typically a tighter curl pattern. If there's a lot of frizz, then it's a looser curl pattern. That's a little pro tip for you guys. So with him being a 4B, we're gonna look at that and look at the way his hair actually looks and be able to tell what maintenance method he chose in order to start them, to maintain them, and to keep them going. Now it's kind of hard telling because he has a bunch of new growth right now, kind of like how he's seen with Activerse or Diddy. So it doesn't look like he's doing a bunch of maintenance right now. But if you look at his dreadlocks, it looks like he was doing quite a bit of maintenance beforehand. And one really interesting thing is that his tips are frayed, but the lengths of his dreadlocks are very maintained and well put together. But his tips are frayed, so it makes me think right now that somewhere down the line he ended up cutting his dreadlocks, and we can see that his tips are bleached. So I'm almost thinking that he had longer bleached tips and then eventually cut them down to where barely the very tip is now bleached versus like a longer tip. And typically if people trim their dreadlocks, like if you remember when Lil Wayne cut his dreadlocks, they were very frayed at the tips. And that's what I'm thinking that Jaydayoungan actually did, is he cut his dreadlocks and now they're frayed at the tips. And it's actually a really cool look. And one look that I think is really cool that I want to mention right now is when people have the tips of the dreadlocks combed out and they're very curly at the ends, and I think it's a really cool look. But it's really interesting because we don't see his tips very blunted off or maintained, and we don't see the roots very maintained or crochet hooked or twisted or anything, but we do see the lengths of his dreads very tight and very mature, so it's really interesting. We can see that he probably started out with very loose maintenance and then eventually got into very hard maintenance with twisting, crochet hooking, whatever it really was. He probably did a lot of maintenance. And then now it looks like he's not doing much maintenance, which he's probably doing what I used to do with my first set of locks. He will do maintenance, like really good maintenance, and then allow it to do its thing for a couple of months and then go back on with maintenance. And that's a very good way to actually maintain your hair. If you plan on maintaining it, maintain it once every 3 months, maybe once every 2 months, or as long as you possibly can go without having to maintain it and separate it and do twisting and everything like that. Because then it gives your scalp time to rest and not have too much tension, because a lot of tension can result in traction alopecia, which then will result in hair loss, and nobody wants that. So with looking at his hair, we can say that he's probably semi-free-forming, and you probably wouldn't call it that with looking at his hair, but we'll call it semi-free-form just because he maintains it and then allows it to freely form, maintains it and allows it to free form. So it is maintained, but I would say it's more of a loose maintenance. So with this whole combination of him and his dreadlocks, we don't really know exactly what he did, but if you follow the steps that I told you, you can eventually get your dreadlocks like his. But we will mention today's product of the day, which is the Dread Sponge. The Dread Sponge is perfect for people who have hair length from 1 inch to maybe 4 inches and have a hair type from a 3A to a 4C. So this is for all those people out there. If you don't have that hair type, you can check out all the other products on Greatlocs.com. But for the people that actually fit in that category with the hair length and the hair type, the Dread Sponge is perfect for you. You can start your dreadlocks within a week, and it gives it a really cool look. If you want your dreadlocks to look like XXXTentacion's, if you want them to look like Jaydayoungan's, if you want them to look like Polo G, NLE Choppa, all these other people that have done the sponge rub method or have that look of the sponge rub, definitely purchase a sponge, and the link to that is going to be at the top of the description. It'll take you straight to Amazon. You'll be able to get it right away. But as I was mentioning, if you don't want to get a dread sponge or you want to get another product or just check out other products, make sure to go to Greatlocs.com and check out all the products that are on there. And this is the community website. This is where you guys can find your products, videos on how to use those products and how to maintain your hair, and literally step by step on how to start, maintain, and finish and mature your dreadlocks. And guys, don't forget to go check out Greatlocs on Instagram. If you follow us and tag us, you will be featured on the page, the channel, and possibly the website. So make sure to go follow us. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.